In this lesson, we're going to start to talk about the basic language of the stock market. So we're going to start building our blocks. And if you're not familiar with day trading, some of this could be almost like learning a foreign language, only 500 times easier. So let's get started. First thing we're going to talk about is bid and offer. What is a bid? What is an offer? If you've ever been to an auction site, eBay or any other of the auction sites, if you want to sell something, you offer it at a certain price. So let's say, for example, I have a couch to sell, and I want to sell this couch for $20. I am going to put out an offer to sell my couch for $20. If I want to buy that couch, I am going to put in a bid to buy it. So I'm going to put in a bid to buy that couch at $15. There's no trade here. Someone's offering the couch at $20, and I'm bidding $15 for the couch. The only time a trade will happen is if the guy who's selling the couch at $20 wants to sell it at $15, he will hit my bid, and now I own the couch. So when we make a bid for a stock, we want to buy the stock and we put in a bid. When we want to sell a stock, we put out an offer. And I'm going to show you on the market maker exactly where the bids and offers are. This is what we call an electronic communication network, or our market maker. And if you look, make believe there's a line right down the middle, which there actually is. First of all, everyone who wants to trade this stock, and the stock is Bank of America, will put their orders in from anywhere around the world. The bids, or the people who want to buy the stock, are on the left side of the market maker. And the offers, or the people who want to sell the stock, are on the right side of the market maker. So if you want to bid for Bank of America, you would enter an order, and your order would go right into this machine, and if there was a trade like we talked about a minute ago, you would automatically execute that trade. So very, very important. Bids are on the left side of the market maker. We put in a bid to buy. Offers are on the right side of the market maker. We put out an offer to sell. Bid, buy, offer, sell. That's bid and offer. Very, very simple. The next thing we're going to talk about is how we actually put in orders to buy and sell stocks. And there's two ways that we can do it. One is with a limit order, and one is with a market order. So let's go back to the market maker for a second. All the orders that you see in this market maker are all limit orders. And what a limit order means is we are picking the actual price that we want to pay for a stock. And by doing that, we will put a limit order into the system and automatically will be executed if it trades at that price. So we're looking at Bank of America, and we can see it's trading at $23.63. Well, if I wanted to buy Bank of America at $23.63, I would physically put a bid in this stock, and my order would go in here with the rest of these orders. And if it traded at that price, I would buy it with a limit order. Very, very important, because most of the orders that we use as day traders are going to be limit orders, because we're picking the price where we want to buy or sell a stock based on our technical analysis. And if I wanted to sell this stock with a limit order, I would enter an order on the right side of the market maker, and I would put in my offer to sell the stock. And I would pick the price where I wanted to sell the stock. So a limit order, we are picking the exact price where we want to buy and sell a stock. The other way we can buy or sell a stock is with a market order. And when we enter a market order in the stock, we're at the mercy of the market. So in other words, we're not picking the exact price that we want to buy or sell a stock. We're willing to get the best available price when we enter a market order. So if we look at our market maker, and we can see it's trading $23.62 bid, and it's offered at $23.63. If I wanted to buy this stock, I would put in a market order to buy, and it's going to give me the best available price at the market, whatever that price is. And if I wanted to sell or short this stock, I would just put in a market order to sell the stock, and it would give me the best available price. So there's a big difference between using limit orders and market orders. Again, as day traders, we try to use limit orders as much as we can because we're picking the exact price where we want to buy a stock. So again, limit order, pick the price where we want to buy it. Market order, we're going to get the best available price based on the market maker. That's a big difference between a limit order and a market order. And again, most of the time, we're going to be using limit orders to enter our trades. The next trade that I want to talk about is what we call a stop order. And every single trade that we do, the first thing that we're going to do on every trade that we do is establish our risk. That's what we're going to do on every single trade that we do. So what a stop order is, it's an order that you enter into the system that will guarantee if that stock starts going against you, that you will only lose a certain amount of money. Let's go back to the market maker for 1 second. Let's say we had bought Bank of America and we own the stock at $23.62. Well, I say to myself, you know what? I don't want to risk more than 10 cents on this trade. I will physically put an order in the machine, and it's going to vary depending on what market system you're using to place your orders. And I would physically put an order in at $23.50. And if that stock goes down to $23.50, it's automatically going to kick me out of that trade, and I'm going to lose $12 on that trade. So stop orders are very, very important once we've gotten into a trade. Again, every trade that we do, we're going to limit our amount of risk, and we do that by putting stop orders into the system. So very, very important. When you buy or sell a stock, limit order 90% of the time. When we do a market order, we're going to get the best available price. And every trade that you do, we are going to have a stop order that limits the amount of risk in that trade. That's probably the most important thing that we're talking about right now, is the stop orders. People do not fail at day trading because of the X's and O's. And I mentioned this in an earlier lesson. You must have a stop order for every single trade that you do and never change that stop order. I have to tell you, I've seen lots of times traders start trading and they'll buy a stock at $23 and they'll have a stop order in to sell it at $22.90. I only want to lose 10 cents on this trade. And the stock will start going down and it'll get close to the price where it's going to knock them out of the trade, and they'll change it. And they'll say, you know what? I'm going to risk another 10 cents on this trade. Then it goes down another 10 cents, and they say, it's got to start going up now. Trust me, it doesn't have to start going up now. So we're going to enter a stop order in every single trade that we do, and most importantly, we're never going to change that stop order, okay? Day trading is more about money management than it is about anything else. So limit order, market order, and have that stop order in at all times,